Artificial intelligence can generate a photorealistic image from any point in history. It can write an essay, compose a symphony, and sift through millions of documents in the time it takes you or me to read a single page. It's like a librarian who has read every book in the library simultaneously. We're told it's the most powerful tool ever built. But when it comes to understanding our own past, can a machine, an algorithm, really get to the truth? Can it do more than just list names and dates? Can it tell our story? And if it can, what does that mean for the human historian? Are they about to become a relic of the past? We decided to find out. We put a world-class historian in a head-to-head battle with one of the most powerful AIs on the planet. The challenge we gave them was monumental. Create a definitive account of one of history's most complex events, the fall of the Western Roman Empire. The results will do more than just decide a winner. They might just shape the future of how we remember. We gave both Dr. Reed and Kronos One the exact same prompt: explain the fall of the Western Roman Empire. We've broken their responses into 3 rounds to see who gives the more accurate, compelling, and insightful account. Let the battle begin. History has to start with the facts. Dates, names, places, events. Get those wrong and the whole story falls apart. For this first round, we're judging pure factual accuracy. Who can build the strongest foundation of knowledge? We started with Kronos One. The AI's response came in seconds, a dense 1,000-word summary listing everything: the empire's division in 395, the Visigoths sacking Rome in 410, barbarian tribes crossing the Rhine in 406, the rise of powerful generals like Stilicho and Aetius, economic crises, plagues, political chaos. On the surface, it looked like an A+ paper. But we took that text to our expert. Dr. Reed, what did you see? It's impressive. Honestly, it's a little frightening. The sheer volume of information it put together is extraordinary. A human would need weeks to compile something this detailed. It correctly identifies dozens of factors, from the old lead poisoning theory, which is mostly debunked, to soil degradation and epidemiological models. It's a stunning display of data processing. But then, you find the little ghosts in the machine. Right here, it says the Visigoth king Alaric sacked Rome in 410 after defeating the general Aetius at the Battle of Pollentia. That's just not right. The Battle of Pollentia was in 402, and it was against a different Gothic leader. Aetius wasn't the commander there. It's a classic AI hallucination. It's like a dream, where your brain takes 2 real people you know and a real place you've been, and mashes them together into a new event that never actually happened. It took 2 separate true events and wove them into a false story because the patterns looked similar. And to the untrained eye, it seems completely plausible. That's the danger. It's so confident when it's wrong. So, while the AI's knowledge is incredibly broad, it's vulnerable to critical errors, hallucinations that can rewrite history. In round 1, while the AI's data processing is superhuman, its reliability isn't. The human historian's carefully fact-checked account holds the line on truth. This round goes to Dr. Reed. History isn't just a list of facts. It's a story. A grand narrative of human struggle, triumph, and tragedy. For this round, we asked both competitors to go beyond the facts and tell us the story of Rome's fall. Who could make us feel it? First, Kronos One. We prompted it to write a compelling narrative. The result was proficient. It was logical, chronological, and even used some descriptive language, like political turmoil and economic decline. But it felt empty. Dr. Reed, your take?
It's like reading a Wikipedia article that learned how to use adjectives. It tells me that things happened, but it never shows me how they felt. There's no soul. Human history is driven by fear, greed, love, desperation. The AI's version is just a string of events. It's a building without architecture. The facts are the bricks, but the narrative is the design that gives them meaning. That turns a pile of facts into a story. It mentions the sack of Rome, but what was that like for a senator hiding in his home, hearing screams? What was it like for the Vandal soldier who'd marched 1,000 miles and was now standing in the richest city in the world? The AI can't imagine that. It can only report the outcome. It misses the beautiful, terrible, chaotic heart of it all.
Dr. Reed then showed us her version. She didn't start with an emperor or a battle. She started with a single character. A fictional but realistically grounded Roman farmer in Gaul in the early 5th century. She described the stability his parents had known and the creeping dread he now felt, the tax collector demanding more than he had, the rumors of tribes crossing the frozen Rhine, the soldiers who were no longer Roman but foreign mercenaries. Through his eyes, the fall of Rome wasn't some abstract concept. It was the slow, terrifying collapse of his entire world. When it comes to storytelling, this round wasn't even close. AI can assemble facts, but it can't yet master the human art of narrative. It can't make you feel the past. This round goes decisively to Dr. Reed. We're seeing a clear pattern here. But the final and most important round is next. It's about the one thing that separates knowledge from wisdom: interpretation. If you're finding this showdown as fascinating as we are, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, because you won't want to miss what happens next. And now, the final round. Why? Why did Rome fall? This is the ultimate question, the one historians have debated for centuries. It takes more than facts and more than a story. It requires interpretation, the ability to weigh evidence, understand cause and effect, and find meaning in the chaos. We gave Kronos 1 its final prompt. Provide a definitive interpretation of why the Western Roman Empire fell. The AI gave us a remarkably complete list of all the major historical theories. It covered Edward Gibbon's ideas on lost civic virtue and the rise of Christianity. It detailed economic arguments about hyperinflation and slave labor. It outlined military theories about barbarian pressure and overstretched borders. It even included modern ideas about climate change and pandemics. But it was a list, a thorough, well-organized and deeply impersonal list. Dr. Reed, your final analysis. This is where AI really shows its limits. Think of it like a jukebox. It can play you any hit song ever written perfectly, but it can't write a new song. It laid out every major theory perfectly, but it can't do the one thing a historian must do. It can't argue. It can't have a perspective. It presents all these theories as equally valid, like items on a menu. But history is an argument. I would argue that the military and political failures were symptoms, not the disease. The disease was a slow decay in the social trust and administrative glue that held the empire together. The AI also reflects the biases in its data. It uses the term barbarian invasions without question. To an AI, that phrase is just data, but to a historian, it's a loaded, Roman-centric term. Most modern historians prefer the migration period because it's more neutral. The AI is like an echo in a canyon. It perfectly repeats what it hears most often, but it has no idea what the words actually mean or the weight they carry. It gives you the what, but it can never truly give you the why. Dr. Reed's interpretation wasn't a list. It was a powerful, cohesive argument, weaving together economic, social, and political threads into a single thesis. She argued that Rome didn't so much fall as it transformed, with very different outcomes for different people in different places. It was an argument full of nuance, context, and a deep understanding of the human element. This final round is a knockout. AI can tell us what we already know, but it can't yet create new understanding from it. The winner, once again, is the human historian. So after 3 rounds, the battle is over, and the victory goes to the human. Kronos 1 proved to be an astonishingly powerful research assistant, capable of data analysis on a scale we've never seen before. But at every crucial stage, verifying facts, creating a compelling narrative, and offering a meaningful interpretation, It fell short. It was tripped up by hallucinations. It couldn't capture the soul of the story, and it could only summarize past arguments instead of creating new ones. So, is this the end for AI in history? We'll give the final word to Dr. Reed. This isn't a threat, it's a tool, an unbelievably powerful one. An AI like this could be the greatest research assistant in history. It could scan 10,000 medieval manuscripts for a single phrase in an afternoon. It could analyze economic data from 2,000 years ago and find patterns I'd never see. The future isn't human versus AI. It's the human historian augmented by AI. This technology will free us from some of the drudgery to focus on what we do best: asking why, telling our stories, and finding wisdom in our shared past. I'm not scared of it. I'm excited to start using it. The final battle for truth, it turns out, wasn't a battle at all. It's the start of a powerful new partnership. The human storyteller isn't obsolete just yet. But that brings us to our final question, the one for you. We've heard what the expert thinks, but what about you? Would you trust a history book written entirely by an AI? And what piece of our past would you want to see it try to explain? Let us know in the comments. And for more explorations into technology and what it means to be human, make sure to subscribe.